Okay, so today we're going to be talking about, on this video, we're going to talk about congruent triangles. So you should have just finished watching the congruent shapes and figures video, and you should have the idea that congruent shapes are, if for instance you just got some shape, a rectangle here, and all we did to it was, say, just rotated it, or moved it, which is translation, or we can flip it over, and it says, and that's, we can do those things and it still retains being the same figure. Okay, there's nothing about the size and things have been changed or anything like that. So then we can call them congruent figures. Okay, now we're going to be looking at congruent triangles, and there are some rules of geometry that are going to help you to be able to deal with them and be able to tell between triangles whether they're congruent. So recall that we looked in the last video that if we rotate, translate, or reflect the figure, it will be congruent to the original figure. Okay, those are the kind of things that's what you need to remember as we're going through this video. Now, the big question you might ask is, how do we prove congruence? I suppose one of the things we should have looked at, and will look at, I think, is what's the purpose of geometry? What can we do with it? And one of the great things about geometry is you can prove things, okay, beyond a doubt. That will always be true. And congruence, we want to be able to prove congruence. It's not really good enough to just look at it and say, well, it looks the same. How do we know? So let's sort of scroll down and have a look. How can we prove congruence? So let's have a look here. It's not good enough for a triangle to just say we knew one of the internal angles of a triangle, and it's one of the sides that are next to it. So 45 degrees here, and this length here is 3 centimeters. If I go over here, I can draw another triangle with a 45 degree angle here and 3 centimeters on this length, and these triangles are clearly completely different. And if I like, I can even go, right, let's make, here's our 3 centimeters, this is going to be 45, and that. Again, I've made 3 completely different triangles here that all match, that have a 45 degree angle, with one of the sides right next to them is 3 centimeters. Okay, so we can't just go with that much information. We need more information. Now, what we're going to look at on this video is that there are 4 different rules for congruent triangles. So with these rules, and 4 of them, make sure these are the kind of things you really want to write down, okay? Your key ideas. So 2 triangles are congruent if they satisfy one of these rules, okay? You don't have to try and satisfy 2 or 3 or 4 of them. One rule, and you know they're congruent triangles, okay? So the first rule is known as SSS, okay? So you can tell if 2 triangles are the same if they have 3 equal corresponding sides, okay? So remember, equal means they're exactly the same length, and corresponding sides just means that, you know, this side corresponds to this one here, okay? This one corresponds to that one there, and this one corresponds to this one here. Okay, we can tell with the lines and things. But because we have SSS, side, 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 we have 3 equal corresponding sides, we know that these triangles are congruent. Okay, they're exactly the same. In fact, I know that because I drew this one and I rotated this one through 90 degrees. Okay, so I already know, and we can tell with that rule of SSS. Okay, next one, rule number 2, SAS. Okay, so we've got one triangle here and another triangle here. We've been told that both of them have this angle theta here, and either side we've got this length here is the same as this one here, and this length here is the same length as this, and there's this angle in here between. So this rule SAS is if we have 2 equal corresponding sides between these triangles with a corresponding angle that is between them, okay? So not either side, between them, and that's how we know it will work, okay? So angle corresponds to the angle, side corresponds to the side, that one there, and this one corresponds around here. Okay, so that's our second rule, SAS, side, angle, side, side, angle, side, side, angle, side. Okay, the next one is AAS. Okay, so here I've got two equal corresponding angles. So I've moved to alphas and stuff. So we have alpha angle here, and this angle alpha, and this angle beta, and this angle beta. So if they have two equal corresponding angles and one equal corresponding side, any order is fine. So they've got these corresponding angles, this corresponding side here, and it means that they are congruent. Okay, so this is our rule number 3, AAS. Now with this one, any order is fine. We could have angle, angle, side. We could have, so angle, angle, side. You could have angle, side, angle, or side, angle, angle. Okay. Lastly, the fourth rule is RHS. This is a quite easy one to remember because it's the one that has to do with right angled triangles. Okay, so if we have a right angled triangle with equal corresponding hypotenuse sides, so remember hypotenuse is opposite the right angle in our triangle and it's the longest one, so equal corresponding hypotenuse sides and another pair of equal corresponding sides. So this one here is equal to this one here and they're corresponding. So it's right angled and we have equal corresponding hypotenuse and another pair of equal corresponding sides. Okay, for those of you who are on the ball with this, you'll notice it's exactly the same rule as the angle side side one that we just looked at before. Yeah, actually no, this isn't the same. This only works with right angle triangles. Okay, just want to reverse that one. RHS only works with right angle triangles. What we have angle side side. Okay. So right angle triangles with equal corresponding hypotenuse sides and another pair of equal corresponding sides. And the way that we write these, we sort of looked at this a little bit in our last video on congruence, is that this triangle here, ABC, is equivalent to, remember that's what this little triple equals sign here means. This thing here means is equivalent to, okay, is equivalent to triangle DEF. So triangle ABC is equivalent to triangle DEF, okay? That's all for this congruent triangles video. In the next one, I'm going to go through some examples of congruent triangles questions because I sort of run out of room here and I want to chop them up just in case they run too long, okay? So go back through that. These 4 rules, you must know them. That we had SSS, SAS, AAS, and RHS, okay? Go back over the video, make sure that you know them and you'll really want to be able to recite them, okay? So that you can call upon them when you need to, okay? Thanks for watching.